Development. What were you asking about?
Yes, web
Yeah,
development.
we have started HTML. We are almost completed CSS, and we're about to finish the major project in the CSS. I'm nearly. I'm working on Flex and animations and 3D design.
All
I
right.
need to finish the project as well. Major.
Oh, okay. Okay. Major
Yeah, that's
project
correct.
like music player, right?
I'm not sure what the project. I haven't checked it out yet. I need to look into it. I'm working on Flex right now.
All right. Okay. So here's the thing. Let's just have a quick recap of whatever are the previous topic, and like in HTML, CSS, and maybe we can, if you guys are like, if both of you have are already till Flex and all, so we can discuss about that. So how is that? Should we discuss that?
Sure, you can just go with classes IDs in HTML because HTML is quite easy. I feel very comfortable in HTML, and
Okay.
CS is quite complicated, I guess. So you can just cover the flex part a bit more in detail.
All right. So let's just start with the CSS selector, the ID class you mentioned, and then
Sure, sure.
okay. All right. Jagit, I guess you are comfortable with us. If you have any other thing, you can please tell. All right. Okay. So hi Harshit. Uh, so there was a context I wanted to give. So mostly there is, like, since you guys are already on WebD, so I'm planning that we can start with the sessions because sir, like, our like batch manager is unavailable for some days. All right. So we can start with the HTML and CSS. Okay, if that will be good, because you guys would be going to have your major project now, like, so that it so we can, like, let's get started with it, right? All right. If you have another thing, like, please feel free to tell. I will share my screen and let's see if someone joins. Otherwise, we can begin. All right. All right. So I have like kind of prepared a document over here, right? So it basically contain the topics in sequence and some useful links, so that you can like go through it. It also has Git semantics, okay? Some of the websites, right? And like the sequence to how we you will be revising this HTML CSS. So just have a like give it a go through. I will share the link in chat, so let me paste it here. All right, let's see what we are going to see. All right, now basically the point, as it was mentioned, so mostly in HTML, CSS, in case of WebD, uh, whenever we try to create a web page, right? So there are some things which we start with. Firstly, we have to figure out what is the structure of our page. Okay, so we need to go with the structure thing. Okay, for example, if I wanted to create this doc itself, I would say that, okay, let me figure out what is the header going to be look like, right? What is the sidebar going to be look like, and what is my main content. Okay, and this main content can also be divided into several sections, maybe. All right, and we can have that. HTML says I have separate tags for it. Okay, so I hope like most of the guys are familiar with what are the HTML tags which we have. So that is one point. And regarding that, there are some tags which we should be discussing. All right, and there are some semantics tags which were added in the like newer version of HTML. So are you guys familiar with semantic tags? Any examples?
Yeah, I've been through that topic as well.
Right. So, can you recall like any of the tag, like what does semantic means?
Um, H1, H2, something like that.
Okay. No issues. Let's see. So, all right. Now we have some tags, okay, which makes themselves clear. For example, if I say H1 tag, so H1 stands for heading tag. Okay. So H1 tag will say that it's a heading tag and it is clear to us. Then we have something called as paragraph tag. So it is clear that will be used for paragraph and something. Then we have form, then we have table. So these tags are there. All right. One point
Yeah.
is, yeah. So One point is there are something called as a span tag, div tag. uh, you also know about this, right?
Yeah, I've been through div tag as well.
All right. The difference is semantic and non-semantic tag. When we say div, we are not exactly specifying that what is div. When we say div, either it is a heading or it is a span or it is a form, we are not clear with that tag. Okay, so that is one point. That is, so if the tags clear it meaning, it is called as semantic. Okay, and non-semantic tags are div span, which does not signify what is div and span. Basically, we used to write content inside it. Okay, but the point is, we do not have any clear idea like what they mean to us. All right. Mm, all right. Let me create a document so that I can share with you guys. I will write all the HTML code inside it and I will share with you. All right, let me choose this, and maybe we can like I can separate it later. All right, so I can say intro HTML CSS dot. Now, going to the template, whatever we have. All right, can I have a quick go through like what are these tags used for? Is it clear to like all of you?
Yeah, heading tag, we're familiar with that. Body HTML and doc type HTML because it's HTML latest version.
All right.
Title tag.
Hmm.
Most of the tags, I'm quite familiar with that, like H1 heading tags, and rest of
All
it
right.
we use article, something like that.
Yep. Yep.
For attaching a link, we'll use href. Uh,
Yes. Yes.
Rest
All
of the
right.
tags, I'm quite familiar with those tags as well. We add divs for a like paragraph or something like that. No, not paragraph. I want to be like,
Okay,
what?
okay. Like, got it, got it. I got the basic idea. So what I will be doing is some of the tags are like, for example, table and form. They have some related tags with them. So can I discuss with that? Would
Yeah,
that be
sure.
good?
You can
Okay.
go with tables. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So my point is, this is how a sample HTML looks like. This is the basic structure that is at least needed to have a valid HTML file. Okay, this is the at least number of tags we require. Okay, head, body, and the HTML tag which is surrounding this. If we miss this, so there is an issue. Okay, so these things are required. Now, body, as the name says, it contains all the important, like the main section of our page, which we see. That is inside body. Now, head tag basically contains the title, the fab icon. What is fab icon? Any guesses?
Favicon is like the top when you open a website. Yeah, the icons you see in the browser. I mean, like the top. Yeah,
Yes.
that Gmail icon.
Yep. 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 So that
That
is
small.
called as. Hmm. All right. So whenever we have some information about the page, now we try to put it into the head. Okay. So for example, I have so these tags have certain meanings. For example, char set says that what what coding like what is the decoding method which will be used to read my HTML file. Okay. So it is UTF-8. Then we have something called as for Edge
I'm
browser,
sorry.
which
I'm
is
sorry. What is decoding? I didn't get that part. UTF-8. Uh,
all right. Now, whenever we write our HTML tags, we write in certain way that browser can understand. There are several encodings, several. For example, if I write body or HTML, or if I use any special character that I can also use, which is a bit out of our scope. We won't use that part. So we have to tell which decoder will be used to read our file by machine, not by us, by the machine browser. What browser should use? So if you go through the definition, it says the attribute declares the page characters encoding. Kind of not needed for us, but if you're interested, like I can like share some more information around
sure. If you're comfortable, you can go this because I'm interested in that part. I mean, like the things I don't know.
in coding. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
no issue, no issue. So let me arrange some links, and I will add in that same doc itself. Okay, will that be good?
Sure. Sure.
All right. Now, since we have an older browser, which is Internet Explorer, so for compatibility with that, we have this meta tag. Okay. So there are some tags newer tags which is not compatible with that browser, so we need to add this for the browser support. Third tag will study when we study about responsiveness, so we'll check this out. Okay, so let's keep it for that time. All right, coming back to the point. Now the point is, let's see some of the tags which are important to us. So, for example, I will start with one of a tag like which I mentioned, the table tag. Okay. Now, semantics and non-semantics. These are two terms in HTML which we use. Okay. Now, the semantic means that the tags, the tag name specifies what it is used for. For example, if I say table, so table is exactly telling that it is going to represent some tabular data. All right. So this is a semantic tag. Inside this, we have something called as p head tag. Okay, p head tag. How it works, we'll see. No issues. Okay, we'll see how it works. For example, I want to display numbers in tabular form, so let me do that also. Something like this. Now, once this is done, so the head basically gives the title to our heading, or the top title we see in our table for the columns. We used to give with this t head tag. Okay. Now, rest wise, we need rows and columns. So how do we give rows in table? Any guesses?
Those, not sure.
TR, right? All right. So we have something called as TR tag, which is table row. Inside that, we have something called as TD. Okay. TD stand for table description. Let me. So this is what it is. Okay. Now, how it turns out to be, basically, the number of TD which I have written over here will become the number of columns. Okay. And number of TR tags will become the number of rows. Okay. Now tell me, if when we see it in the browser, how many rows and how many columns are there?
Um, so there is a TR and TD as well. So maybe three by three, maybe four by four.
All
I,
right.
I think rows are three and columns are three as well.
All right. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Did I miss something? There must be something wrong. Okay. I didn't save the file. All right. So you can see that if I just increase the size, so you can see that we are having, like, so table row was 3 and table column was 3. So 3 by 3 we are getting this part. This part, as I said, key the title of column is here. Okay, this is the title of column. The t head tag which we used. Okay, so which is being shown up. Now, once we have opened our page inside HTML, okay, inside a browser, okay, browser is capable of reading HTML files. So when once we have opened our page inside this browser, I can see every detail over here. How can I see that? I can say inspect. Okay, this is inspect. It is mostly in all the browsers. Okay, so inside this we have something called as inspection tool. Okay, this is a cursor. Wherever we place it, it will tell about the data. For example, I want to know about this specific TD. So it has pointed me, it has taken me over here that this is your TD, what we have at this point. The part is, whatever the display start, it always start from the top left side. Okay, so this is the origin of our page. So every tag will start from this end, this top, and then if it is all right, there are two types of tags, um, display wise: inline element and block element. So can I know like what kind of tag it is, inline element or block element table?
Um, Table is Not an inline element, I guess, because it is automatically given an enter, like entering a next line. The
All right.
rows are coming to the next line, so I think it's not. It's a block, I guess.
Yes, correct. Very correct. So it's a block element, right? And similarly, this tr is also a block, right? Automatically coming in the next
Yeah,
line.
yeah, it's all coming to the next line
Yes.
automatically as well.
And td.
TD, I guess they are side by side, so
Yes. Yes.
maybe
Yes.
it's not an inline. It's an inline element. It's not.
Yep. All right. Okay. So if this part is clear, let's proceed forward with something else. Now we do not see like any rows and columns, any separators over here. Okay. So, all right, let's get started with CSS also so that we can take things in parallel. Now, tell me, um, what do I need to add here so that I can see table lines? You see, table rows and columns are separated with lines. So, what style I can add over here? Any guesses?
Um,
All right. Okay. Let's see. Now, giving CSS a style, okay, so HTML is read by the browser, CSS is also read by the browser. HTML provide a structure to the page and CSS provide.
Colors and stylings make it more appealing. Like,
Yes,
beautiful.
yes, formatting to the page, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, in order to give it a style, we use a style tag over here. Okay, we use a style tag over here. One thing to mind over here is we use a style tag inside the head tag. All right, and let's get started with the style. So, for example, I want to style my table, so I will say that table. Okay, and let's see if I am able to uh, in order to give some lines to it, we call it borders. Okay, we call it border is a css property which will help us. Border is a css property which will help us have some borders around the element. How does it work? Let's see. So we say border, the name. So most of the css style will be available with their names. Okay, so that is fine with this. Now this is the property, but property will require some values also. The values comes in the values have also their own types, although we'll go with a unit called as pixels. Okay, so let's see. I will say 2 pixels. All right, let's see, is it working or not. Now best way to debug is come over here, take this tool. Okay, try to read it. So it says the table is over here. Now when I click on table, I also have this right pan. Inside it I have all my styles associated with a particular element. Now this particular element will be um, having the styles added to the element. Now what's missing over here is what is the property. We write 2 pixels means the border width should be 2 pixels. There are some other things we need to supply. Okay, so I say border. When I say border, this is border width, although we need to supply the border color, right? So border color goes as, let's say, black. All right, and we need to give the style. So we need to give the style. So border. Then we have something called as style. Now, style can go as solid. Solid is one of our values. Now, these values are predefined. Okay, we do not have any, like we do not have any freedom to use the values. All right. For width, we have the freedom, right? But styles and all, we do not have that much of freedom. So whatever the set of values, we need to know at some point. We do not need to remember because all right. The point is how many web pages you develop is the same thing. It's practice. You don't need to remember anything over here. My point is these three will is giving border to this one. The same can be used for our T body. Okay. Let's try with T body or let's try with the T row maybe. Okay. If I try with T row, let's see. Can I do this? All right. So this is our T body. Mm. All right. Now, so where did we give all the styles? So I can copy this style over to my file. Let's see if it is updated. Yeah, it is updated. Now my point is, with this table, I can also style this PR also. Okay. See, the two kind of, so this is property border width, color and style. Now there are some properties we call them shorthand property in CSS. Shorthand property in CSS. How they work is I can combine the width, the style, and the color inside a single property. Okay. All right. Didn't it get updated? Let me check out. Okay, so we are having this. Then why didn't we receive this? Let's see. T body requires this. Maybe this requires, so we can say 2px, then solid, all right, and black maybe. All right, this is also not taking it. So, and yes, one more thing I need to mention when we are reading CSS. Okay, so this works. Makes sense. So instead of TR, we can proceed with TD. Let's see. So we are having the formatting with us also. So this is the point. And my point is, not all the elements will support all the styles, but how to remember this? The same rule. It's if you develop, you get it right. Otherwise, debugging is also an option. So this is how we add borders to it. Now, one thing is missing is this. These are not having some borders, so we can easily assign this th also. Okay. How can we do that? You can just put a comma over here, and that's it. So more than two elements share the same styles. You can go with a comma, right? All right, this makes sense. Is it clear till now? Any guesses? I like any
Yeah,
issues.
yeah, it's clear.
All right. Okay, so let me proceed further. Now there are some more styles which we can see from here itself. Okay. All right. So should I put that as an attribute or something? All right. Anyways, let's see this. There is something called as call span inside it. Okay. Now see this. This th is a tag. Okay. Th, td. These are HTML tags. We call it tag. Tags are merely names for our whatever the HTML we are having. So these are just names we have. Okay. HTML tags. Okay. My point is this complete is called as a HTML element. Okay, there's a difference. HTML tag and HTML element. This T head is called as HTML tag. This complete will constitute as a HTML element. Number point is
Yeah, yeah, I got it. The complete element which like a block represents is called an element, and the things we use to create these elements are like the tags.
yes, yes, very correct, very correct.
Cool.
All right, moving on. So these HTML tags have attributes also associated with them. Attributes are properties on these tag itself. Those are also predefined. For example, this TD has a property, we call it call span. Call span. How does this work? Let's see. So if I put two over here, let's see how it is working. Now I have given this call span to this TD. Okay? I can just inspect this and check it out. So you can see that call span means I'm instructing my element to span over two columns. Okay? Span over two columns. That is why it is taking two columns over here. We also have something called as row span. Okay, and it says the same thing over here. Okay, so call span and row span. So if you want any of these cell to occupy more than one cell, which is by default, we can go with this call span and row span. These things are called as attributes. ठीक है, इसको attribute बोलते हैं. And these are also predefined on the tag, which is achieved to which is added to achieve a specific formatting, or maybe some data checking, data validation. These kind of, the same tag can be used as different types also. We'll see that part. I hope table is clear to all of you guys. Any issues in this one?
Yeah, it's clear. Table part is okay.
All right. That's nice. That's nice. All right. There is one more important tag which I want to discuss before we move forward. See, I can quickly go to the CSS part and all, but yeah, let's take some time because knowing these tags is ultra important, right?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Yep. All right. Next tag which we are going to see is, we call it form tag. Okay. This is needed for backend perspective also. So basically, most of the time, whatever tags we have, okay, one or two more tags, okay, so that it can be a thing like I have covered, okay. So maybe not. Okay, let's use that one. It will give a bigger text. Okay, form below. Okay, heading tag, as we have already guessed it out, it's used for heading. Okay, now this is heading must be something like, apart from normal text is font size is low, or color is the style is, so that is a low. Whereas heading goes with bigger text, okay, bolder, it has like color, which are, okay. So these are the things over here. My point is, we have total of how many heading tags are there? Any guesses?
Six
Correct.
H sizes.
Yes. 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 Very correct. Very correct. So we have total of six heading tags. Each share different height. Okay. So different formatting is there. Different font size and all things are there. So this is a, all right. This is what it is. So there are some tags which have both opening and closing tag. For example, whatever we have seen till now has its opening tag, has its closing tag, opening tag, closing tag, okay, and the content is inside it. Can we have example which is bit different from opening closing tags,
Break tag.
and what we call these type of tags?
Um,
Self closing tag, right?
yeah, yeah, self-closing tag. Yeah.
All right. Now, this is a BR tag, okay. This is a BR tag which is break tag.
Yeah.
The point of this tag is to,
Enter a new line. I mean, like hit
yes,
enter in the
yes.
HTML.
Yes, very correct, very correct. So whatever the current line is, just break from there. Okay. ठीक है. All right. We'll use it when we use text. Okay. Coming back to the point. Now, so these are so types of tags are self-closing tags and tags with both opening and closing statements. And my point is, we are going to see form. Most of the time, we try to, with our HTML tags, we try to show data to the user. User is coming to our page for reading purpose. Okay. Now, maybe some of the time we require some tags, and we require user data. User data means I want some user data, like data from the, okay. So maybe I want some, instead of having a read property that I show some content to the user and user is reading it, I want to take some data from the user itself. For that, we already have filled some of the forms and How does that perform is form consists of something called as input tags. This is specifically used inside. It can be used outside, but we'll see later why it shouldn't be used outside. That's not a good idea. But yeah, like maybe it depends upon the use case. Okay, so you can use it outside also. That is for a different purpose. Now, input tags say that it will provide input to the user. By default, we have something called as type attribute, which is by default text. So if you don't write text, it will be a text input. Okay. All right. This is one thing, and we have several other input tags with different types. So the difference is in attribute. What are those? Let's see the one part. So, all right. Now this is text. Okay. There's something called as email. Okay. We also have passwords, and we have something called as date. Now, if you remember, you guys can also upload files and images to um, like form. Okay, so we have input type as file also, which will give us an option to upload file to our website. That is also there. How does it work? Let's see. Now, there is one more attribute. We call it placeholder. What is the use of placeholder? Any guesses?
Um,
All right. Let's Okay, let's use it. Then we'll see. So I can say type some text. Do you guys have seen some text inside that input box which guides what to do here? Type your email here or something, something.
yeah.
Yes. So that is what
Okay.
placeholders are used for. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's try it out, and I can. Okay. One more attribute, just the last one before we go to the UI. So there is a name property. Okay, so this all inputs have the name with associated with them. Why do we have name? That is a separate discussion. We'll see when we are actually submitting a form. Okay, how do we share data with our server, and we'll discuss what is a client and server. Okay, no issues. So if you see these, this is a form, and I have some tags over here. I can do the inspection with this inspect tool, and not the complete body I want. Okay, I have already magnified it. So you can see that this is the placeholder. Okay, let's start. Now, first was the text type text. How can I see that? So I can just click on this form. I can click on over here. It is guiding me, like it is guiding me that this is what we have. Now, typing in some text can be anything from my keyboard, okay, or from the number keys, and return won't work, alt won't work, or like command won't work. A space will work, right? That is totally fine. Arrow keys, okay. All right. So this is type text. Next type is email. Now let's try to have an email over there. So when I say email dot, or maybe let's say at the text form, all right, you can go with this. That's totally fine. All right, let's do something like this. All right, this is not a valid email, obviously. Makes sense. This is not a valid email. So this should have given some warning or something, something, right? That is also there. Okay. Why do we need to? So what is the difference between input type email and input type text? If I can write anything over here, I can do the same thing. So why do we have to text an email? We'll see that part also. Coming to the password field. Okay. Coming to the password field, we have all right. What did happen exactly? I'm not sure. So I'll do the quick refresh. Okay. So if I come to password now, if I see this, when we say type password, it is automatically hiding my text. Yeah, it is automatically hiding my text. And I want you guys to notice one more thing. I said that okay, the left sorry, the right pan will give you the style associated with my element. Now whatever I have over here, I have some styles over here, css style over here. Can someone guess where is this css style is coming from? I didn't write this style.
I guess for the password type, it's a default
All
CSS.
right. Yes, yes. So basically, the browser or the client, whoever is rendering the HTML page, provide these functionalities to us. Okay. For example, you can see that there is a property WebKit text security is saying a disk as important. Can I overwrite it? Let's see. WebKit. What is WebKit? We'll discuss this also. Okay. WebKit text. This is one more thing. Okay. So maybe try this. All right. All right. So does it have any effect? Nope. Let's try some other property. We'll discuss what is important also. Any guesses what is important?
Important is like mandatory.
Yes, yes. That will be using to. Um, okay, it is not allowing us to overwrite. Okay, but the point is these styles are given by the browser itself. Now, why it is written user agent? User agent means whoever is opening our page. So user agent is here Chrome browser. Okay, remember user agent is the browser. Whoever is rendering the page. Coming back to the point. Now this is the date selector which we have. You can see that we have a beautiful calendar over here which is automatically given by the browser itself. I can select date and time over here. Okay, that is totally fine. Alright, I can change it, I can move it, I have all these selectors. Remember, these properties, this calendar we see, it varies browser to browser. Okay, it will not be the same for every browser. Maybe the Mozilla has something else, has other calendar like functionality, and something is there. All right, finally our final input, which is file. So let's see, when I click on choose file, it gives me the folder over here. I can select any file or something from here itself. Okay, I can just open it. You can see that this is uploaded, like loaded in the browser itself. Okay, it's not going to any server yet, but this is the point. Are these tags clear, input tags?
Yeah.
All right. Now let's see some of the tags which occurs in group. Okay, which occurs in group, and any examples of group tags, group input tags.
Mm, not sure.
All right. Let's see. You guys know about radio buttons?
Yeah, buttons. Okay.
All right. Let's see this. Also, the form has input which is a bit specific. We call it type submit. All right. Call it type submit, and it can have a name submit. Open out new job page. We'll see how they render. Okay, we'll see that part. Now I want to have some names over here. Okay, so let's do multiple edit. Like I did not want this. Name can go as radio button. Okay. You guys know how to multiple edit?
No.
All right. Now, um, if my text, if you see this type equals to radio is common in 4 lines. Okay. Select that part. Type equals to radio. Okay. Do Control D. which is duplicate, control D, control D. Okay, so all the duplicates will have cursor, and you can just do whatever you want, and you can just go with typing. So you can type the same thing. Control D is the key. All right.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. Now, maybe if you if you guys see, like you have some preferences on website, like whenever you fill some form, let's say you want to fill for an exam, so they say center preference. So you have one, two, three, four preferences over there, or maybe there's a single selection option. So what it can be is maybe the payment method. So payment method is, let's say you want to go for UPI, or you can just go for cash payment, or something is there. So maybe we can have radio buttons for that. How does this look in UI? Let's see that part. So I can see that I have the submit button over here. So input type submit was this. Okay? Input type submit is looking something like this. And we have the radio buttons looking like this over here. I hope you guys realize like the radio buttons like something like this. Okay.
Yeah, choose the best option, kinda.
Yep. Correct. Very correct. Now, if you remember, uh, you can select any one of them, right?
Yeah,
You cannot select multiple items, right?
yeah,
And how does this happen? Like how these four tags are connected? Like any guesses how these are connected?
um, not sure.
All right. Let me do some change over here. Okay. I've changed this name to button one. Okay. Last two have button one. The names have been changed. Okay. I can select one. I can select either one or two. I can select four also. How is it possible?
Oh, okay. Only one should be selected, right?
Yes, like one should be selected for ticket. Now, why I can select two?
Name reference is different.
Correct, very correct. So I just changed the names of the last two ones. Okay.
Okay.
So input type radio is connected with their names. Make sense, guys? Okay.
Yep.
All right. That's good. One more thing I want to see. So I said that what is the difference if I write text in email field also? Let's try to submit it. See this? Please include an at the rate in the address and something. So these validators are on point on check, right? So this works perfectly. Not like obviously we have some validations provided by the browser itself. So that is why I did this submit. So before submit, whatever you write in here now, that is validated by the browser first. Okay? Because it knows that email has that we need to have a at the rate to it. We can submit it, but it will go nowhere. Okay? That is one point. But yeah, we have this. All right. So this is we have a stack. Similarly, just to be in the good part, good shape with tags, I just want to cover some of them which are necessary. We have something called as checkbox. What are checkboxes? Any guesses?
We can yeah, when we have
Correct. Very correct. So we can have multiple of them. All right. Um, this can also take names. I should write names also. All right. Anyways, let's edit for the multiple time. So I can say name, and I can say checkbox. Checkbox select. All right. So this is what we have as checkboxes. Now maybe we can have. So this is the preference, right? Preference is like if you have a single selection, go with radio buttons. If you have multiple selectors, like go with this one. Right. Maybe sometimes you want to go make this away, like whatever the suggestion box is. Any guesses how to make the suggestion box go away? Just click on escape, right? All right, let's save this and render out. So we have this square boxes over here. These are multiple. Okay, this was already done. Now we have something called as, there are some attributes in over here which have something called as check. Any guesses what this checked will do?
Default, it will be checked.
All right. Yes, yes, yes. So at least maybe your use case is something like maybe payment method. So you want the user to like at least have a payment method, right? So maybe you can use like this one, or maybe you want to keep something on preference, so you can go with that. All right. One more validator. Okay. See, I will not say I will tell things which I like know that is needed, but my point is okay. So read only is not working. Should be working, right? Read only should be supplies as well. My point is you will only learn all the attributes. Okay, you will like learn all the attributes and things once you start developing the web page. Right? There are lots of things to cover. I will try to cover it, but like at the end you have to like take care of things. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not sure why I'm not able to use this attribute. Uh, okay. One more thing, guys. Never be shy to check things out. Okay. This is the first rule of becoming a good web developer. Okay. If something doesn't work, just give it a look. Okay. That is how you will learn, because I will try to say everything, but like that's not possible anyways. But okay, read only attribute. Read only attribute not working. Why is it not working? Stack Overflow. Consider it as your friend. Okay. Hmm. Oh, okay. See this. Let's say there is a conclusion. The followings are valid, equivalent, and true. So read only can be left something like this. This is also left something like this. Read only, and but this these are invalid. The absence of attribute is only valid syntax for false. By default, it is false, right? If you care about writing valid XHTML, use read only since input read only is invalid, and other alternatives are less readable. That is not quite what I get, but let me check this. All right, maybe these both do not work together, but see that is the point, right? We need to check things out. It is working or not working. Maybe try with this one. Okay, so we do not have any effect on this one. What is the thing? So it says equivalent enter. The presence of a boolean attribute on element represents true value, and the absence of the attribute returns obviously. So if the attribute is present, its value must be either empty string or value that is an ASCII case insensitive match for the attribute's canonical name. Hmm. All right. That element present a control whose value is not meant to be edited. Okay. Is that something work on only these things? Maybe it only works on text, input type text. That is that can be one thing. I'm not sure, but oh, okay, okay, yes. So it is working on text. It is not working on the check part because I'm not able to type in something over here. So that's it. That is a read only attribute. Okay, read only attribute. Maybe so. I hope you guys already have gone through some input fields which are not editable. Have you guys seen those kind of fields in forms?
Yeah.
Like so, we have something like this. Okay, so this is what we had over here. Okay, and Okay, so we have some time. So let's see. Anything else I want to consider for this session? Hmm. Okay. Do you guys have your GitHub account ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So have that ready because we are going to need it. And if you need any help with the setup, like we'll discuss how it works. Okay. Some things which I want to cover in the tags. So next class will be more focused towards uh, styling part. Okay. So maybe one or two more things I can cover is select. Any guesses what is select? All right. Let's see. Option maybe let's say uh, car names, right? So maybe it's a BMW. Let's say Audi. Then we have Ferrari, and maybe Honda. How does this work? We have saved it, right? Yes, it's saved. So we have something like this, right? Have you guys gone through this select type of list? I hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So this is okay. So this is how it works. Now, mostly these are the things which we have to take care of, like when we are having forms. Okay. Some of this. Okay. So I hope the table and the form is you guys got something. Okay. All right. There's some tags which I want to cover. Okay. Before we go, inline tags. Okay, let's check inline tags. Okay, two inline tags. One is a span, so I will say this is span, not spam, span tag. Okay, this is the first one. This is the first span, and we can have one more span over here. This is a span tag too. Okay, so there are two span tags over here. Okay, how does this work as and how they are different is a point of discussion. Let's look at the tags we have already used. Now tell me, there are two type of tag based on display property. What how this display property work? Well, discuss later displaying and positioning in CSS. But my point is, there are two type of tag. One is block and one is align. Block tags appear in a single line. No other tags appear in that line. For example, this table is going to be a what kind of tag is this table?
Block.
Yup. Yup. That's a block tag. What is this heading?
Block.
Correct. What are these input tags?
Inline. Those are in
Yes, yes, correct. Very correct. What is this complete form?
inline.
Are you sure?
No, no, the complete form you're talking. Okay, it's a block tag because the span came to the next line automatically. So.
Yes, yes, correct. Okay. We'll study about margin. If you guys already know, that's good. We'll study about margin. So what they do is like they take up the complete width of our page. Okay. That is why they don't allow any element to come over here. Though it is invisible, but their default width will be something like they say that I will take this also. So maybe we can adjust their display also. That is also possible, but we'll see that part later on. Okay. One last thing for today. What we call this type of a style?
Style, it's a internal.
Correct, very correct. This is called as internal styling. Okay.
Oh, okay.
What are the other two types?
External and inline.
Correct, very correct. External and All right, guys. This is what I had for today. Okay. I Please create your GitHub account if not created already. If created, that's good. Uh, my point is, we can deploy our HTML code over to that thing. Okay. Before you guys go, right, where is the attendance sheet? So let's see. We'll talk about GitHub also. Okay, how it works and why it is needed as a developer. Okay. Please mark your attendance. And around the same time, or maybe like if you guys are okay, we can have an evening also. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. Let's meet tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Yep. Bye, everyone.
Bye.